She pulled her wagon along, the canisters inside rattling slightly. The people she walked past recognized the sound, no question. Her cargo was unmistakable. Ias sometimes wondered what it was like for merchants to carry boxes that passers-by didn't know the contents of. Perhaps it felt a bit like a birthday, like having a good secret wrapped away. Ias's canisters were no secret, but they were good all the same. They were undeniably good, even though some of the glances they received took a moment to sort themselves out. "Thank you, Em," a woman said as she passed her. The woman was gray-haired, at least twice her age, and yet still Em. She had long grown used to that. Ias was tired, and not in the best of moods. She'd awoken with a headache and had skipped breakfast, which he'd regretted after a mere hour at work. She smiled and nodded at the woman anyway. That was part of her job, too, to smile, to be the opposite of fear. She continued down the thruway, heading into the buzz of a neighborhood market. The smells of crispy fish, warm starches, and fresh-cut veggies greeted her. Her stomach growled. The environment shifted slightly as she moved through it, as it always did. She passed through the familiar blanket of long glances, murmured thanks, the occasional exhale. Someone appeared in her periphery, an older man coming right toward her. "Emperata," the man said. He opened his arms wide. Ias didn't remember the man when she went in for the hug, but an image surfaced as she was squeezed tight. A face at a ceremony 3 10 days prior. "M. Tucker," she said. "Please, call me Ias." She pulled back, leaving a friendly hand on the man's arm. "How are you?" It was a difficult question, she knew, but simply saying, "I care," was awkward. "Oh, well," M. Tucker said. His face struggled. "You know." "I do," Ias said. She did. M. Tucker looked at the cart. He swallowed hard. "Is that Harry?" Ias raced through some math. "No," she said, "not for at least 10 days yet. If you'd like to come by then, I can prepare a canister for you myself." The man's eyes watered. He squeezed Ias's upper arm. "Do you like bean cakes?" he asked, gesturing back at his stall. "I've got both sweet and savory, fresh out of the oven." Ias wasn't huge on bean cakes, but she had never, ever turned down a gift under these circumstances, and her stomach was willing to accept anything at this point. "I'd love a sweet one." M. Tucker smiled and scurried back to his workspace. He lifted a fat bean cake off a teetering stack and wrapped one end of it in a thin piece of throw-cloth. "You have a good day now, Ias," he said, handing over the bundle. Ias thanked him and continued on. She received more handouts before she reached her destination. A pack of vegetable seeds, which she had no use for but would keep for trade, and a mug of strong tea, which she desperately needed. She paused in her walk, sat on a bench, and consumed her gifted meal. The bean cake was fine, as far as bean cakes went, and the tea soothed a tightness she hadn't known was there. She found a nearby recycling station and put the mug and the throw-cloth in their respective bins, from which they would be collected, washed, and reused. She resumed her walk, dragging her own recycling along behind her. Her destination was the Oxygen Garden, the central hub of any neighborhood, a curved green assemblage of places to play and places to sit, and plenty of room to think. She parked her wagon in its usual spot, put on her apron and gloves, and selected a canister. She stepped over a Plex barrier into one of the planters, treading carefully around all that grew there. The grasses couldn't be easily avoided, but she did her best to not trample the flowering shrubs and broad leaves.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.